Hello. How is everyone today? Hopefully good. Um, I'm just gonna try. I'm just gonna try to dome it today. As you can see from the title, we're gonna be talking somewhat about what I consider a messenger to be, which is all of us. I read a comment earlier that um, someone had said it's to the extent of only someone. Oh, how do I put this? How do I put this? We're all messengers. We all send a message out. We send a message of either fear or we send a message of either love. Um, some people think that only certain people are there to send these messages, but that's not true. We all have messages to send. You cannot go through your day without putting out some type of message. It's impossible. You can't do it. You're either putting a message of fear or you're putting a message of love. There's only two types of messengers. Two. That's all there is. There is no other types of messengers. Messengers of fear, messengers of love. It's a matter of choice on which you choose to message. This experience is not all that complicated. It really is not. It's all a matter of what you choose to accept as your truth. Now, some of you say, well, I'm a good person, I don't mean to send out fearful messages. That's true. You don't. Some of us say, well, I'm a bad person. I don't mean to send out loving messages. That's true. You don't. But these messages, fear shows love just as much as love shows fear. And what I mean by love showing fear is that people who live in fear love. Does that make sense? Or is that too far out there? Because I see it like I've sent out a lot of love to, like, say, my daughter. And I've sent out a lot of love to my ex girlfriend, the mother of my daughter. I've sent a lot of love to her. But she didn't attach herself to that. It's because some people believe that that love is too good to be true. That's that fear. It's like, how can that be? How can someone love you this much? Or how can someone love me this much? It's possible to love unconditionally. Fear, like I've said, is nothing more than an illusion. You say, oh, how can that be an illusion? I see it all the time. Well, that's true. You do see it. But that's what an illusion is. You can still see illusions, they're not hidden. It's, oh, this message is just maybe, it might just be some random stuff put together. Um, but I'm going to try to demonstrate what a messenger is through all this randomness that's going on in my mind. Um, I'm going to try to be a messenger of maybe both ways. Maybe use some fear and some love to maybe demonstrate the two types. This message might be a little lengthy, and that's okay. You don't have to watch it. After this point, you don't have to watch it. This message is not for everyone. I mean, it's for everyone, but there's only going to be certain people that actually will accept it. And the ones that really feel it in their heart and in their mind as love will accept this message. The people who die in fear will not accept this message. They will accept what's been told to them as far as the lies that go on in this world. And you can live like that. You can do that all you want to. But that does not mean you have to push that fear onto someone else. It's not going to work anyways. Like control. Who out there really likes to be controlled? I'm a loving guy. I don't like to be controlled. And I don't. I don't accept it. Because I'm not trying to go out there and murder people. I'm not trying to go out there and steal from someone to get what I believe I deserve. I believe that love and sending that pure message is what I deserve, and I believe it's what we all deserve. We've been hiding in this fear for a very long time. Even I have. I've lived in it for a long, long time. But I'm done with that. It's not who we are. And if you want to accept that for yourself, that is fine. You have every right to. But I don't accept it for me. I only get maybe 5 minutes every 2 or 3 days of conversation with my daughter. And it's because people have this misconception of work. There's nothing wrong with work. There's nothing wrong with work. I haven't had very much luck with work um, because of how I am. I've always, I've had jobs where I've worked 2.5 years, 3 years. It's just never worked out for me. Something has always happened that I have lost my job in some way. And it has to do with the choices I've made. It has nothing to do with anyone else. Even though we all affect each other, yes, that is very true. We do affect each other. But ultimately, I made the choice to quit some of those jobs. And some of those jobs I was fired from, or let go, or laid off. Um, it's kind of rough. I mean, you're trying to work and you're trying to provide, and you're trying to gather up all these funds to make a lifestyle work for you and your family. And sometimes it just does not pan out the way that you would have liked it. And I just look at it as that's how it's supposed to be for me. I have to be able to accept this. This is something that I have to be able to understand that these things just happen, but because of it, you know, I feel like not necessarily my life is being threatened, but this experience and who I am in this experience is kind of being threatened in that sense. Um, just because I've had bad luck, I guess let's say bad luck with work. Um, People around me, and golly, I do not mean to put it off on other people, but we all affect each other. We all make choices, and we all affect each other around. But people do not accept this bad spell that I'm having. They want to put all the blame on me. They want to say, "Oh, Andrew, But they want to, but then again, they want to say, "Oh, this is not all about you. This is not all about you, Andrew. Why do you think this is all about you? Why do you think this is your fault? It's not it's not just you. You're right. It's not all about me. So why make it about me? Why put it on me that I'm such a bad person because I've had some bad luck with work?" And I'm talking about work, and I'm sending this message because there is very many people out there, very many. There's quite a few people that, like me, that struggle with that. They just can't seem to like hold a job. Something always comes up. Always. Something. It doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter. Something comes up and it happens. And then you have cults, it seems, that just want to like, they want to say it's not all about you, but then again, I don't know. I don't know. It's hard to kind of describe sometimes, because you don't want to sound like someone that people are conspirating around you, That's crazy talk, right? Yeah, it is. But it does seem like that sometimes. It does seem like you have these conspirators around, and it's so strange. I try to get that out of my mind. It's a thought there. It's a thought there, but I don't let it consume me. I'm trying to, what's that expression? The benefit of the doubt. Let's give them the benefit of the doubt. Maybe they're not. You know, maybe they're not conspirating. But there's a message in that. It just within that thought of maybe these conspirators are the people around you. It's it's a strange thought, but it's there. I can understand it, but I don't want to accept it. Because I'm the kind of guy that ultimately, when I wake up in the morning, I'm brushing my teeth. I'm telling myself that I get up, I brush my teeth. Well, sometimes. I get up, I take a shower. Well, sometimes. I get up, I clothe myself. Well, sometimes. These things, sometimes I don't feel like it. Sometimes, this depression just makes you you just don't want to be a part of society because you feel like you've had a bad hand. It's like this hand is giving you a shitty deal. It's, but I can honestly say that through this shitty deal, it has helped me see God. That is one of the main functions of this bad hand. This bad hand has shown me a love that I always knew I had, but I did not fully understand it. And to better explain that, growing up, I've had many girlfriends. And all the girlfriends that I've ever had seem to have this poor attitude. And it never worked out. None of these girlfriends, I don't even really think that I'm friends with any of my ex-girlfriends because of the choices that both of us have made. Um, Now, I've been the guy that has always fallen for these types of women. These crazy, some people might call them crazy girls, they they just flip out on you for no reason. I've had girlfriends that would wake up and, well, one in particular, she woke up and every time she'd wake up, she said, "Well, I had a dream of you cheating on me." And it started a fight and it caused a bad scene throughout the day because of this so-called dream she said she had, and it was this women's intuition. A woman's intuition. Everybody has this intuition now that they're speaking of, this thing that they believe that they can read into the future and say that, oh, I know this is going to happen. We all have that. It's not a woman thing. It's an all thing, man and women. We all do it. Like, I understand my situation. I know what's going on. It's not very difficult to figure out. You can look into the people's eyes and see that they're not really looking you into the eyes. They have things to hide. And it's because of how society works. It's how we work as a society. It's what we believe. It's how we think the society should work. But honestly, what has worked about it? Nothing has worked with this type of society. If you can explain to me what has worked in this society in good detail and something that really good has happened other than, I was going to talk about Jesus there for a second, but the man died because we chose a thief and a murderer over him. Isn't that crazy? Well, like I said in my last message, Jesus was something that represented what was good in this world. He was here to show us who we are. Now, why would someone have to die because of that? I mean, he didn't die, don't get me wrong. He's what life is. He's what life is. He didn't die. He's within each and every one of us. Now, people can believe in this death experience all they want to. To me, there is no such thing as death. That to me is a fear, which is a limitation. It's there to allow you to believe that there is no love, that there was no Jesus Christ, that he did not come and die on a cross. And you know what? Let's be optimistic. Maybe there was no Jesus Christ that actually was a man that walked this earth and died on the cross. But regardless of whether or not that man actually walked on this earth, there is a story of a man that had great teachings. And just through that story is a man named Jesus Christ. So regardless of whether or not this man actually walked this earth, his story, his name, what he represented lives on and will always live on. I believe Jesus Christ is God, and he's our creator. He's what created us. You cannot kill the creator. There's no possible way. We can come here to this experience and we can do all the evil things that we wish. He gives us that. We can do that. But I promise you, we're going to be here till we get it right. It's just how it's going to be. He came here. He gave a good message. He told us how to live life. He told us how to love pretty much. He told us how to respect each other. And I believe the man deserves respect. And people can desecrate him all they want to. They can try to kill him all they want to, but it will never happen. Will never happen. He's what's true. Death is what's not true. Like I've said, people can blow this world up today. And Jesus and God will still be there. Always. He's what created. He is our creator. He's what love is. And love lives on and will always live on. fear dwindles away. You say, well, how can fear dwindle away? We've lived in it for so long, Andrew. We cause fear every day, every single day of our lives. That's very true. But it's only an illusion. It's there for you to experience who you are not. It's not what's real. You are what's real. The people are what's real. Jesus and God are what is real. You can't change that no matter what you do. Why even attempt it? It's just, now that's crazy talk. These people in this world deserve a great place. And I understand that there's people out there that want to do this control thing. But they obviously know it doesn't work. I mean, look how long they've been doing it. They've been doing all this control for thousands of years, and nothing has came out of it. Nothing, not even anything for them. The people that are trying to control it doesn't even work for them. It will never work because it's not what is real. Living on false pretenses. Actually, you're dying on false pretenses. It's not living at all. You're just causing death. But it's not an ultimate death like people say. It's only temporary. Only temporary. God is everlasting. The evils we do are only temporary. It's just common sense. And like I said, this message is only going to be understood by those who understand it. Those who have an open mind, those who are not closed-minded to just this experience. Those who can actually see something beyond this experience. Those who can actually look into the mirror and actually see themselves. There's people who look into the mirror and just see money. They see a walking money with a brain. Actually, I wouldn't even say that. Let's forget the brain. There's no brain in money. Now, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with money. You can have money. There's nothing wrong with that. But we use it for the wrong reasons. We use it to kill each other. Man. People who live in fear create fear. People who create fear live in fear. They will never admit it. They won't admit that they fear. Why would they? They're liars. Liars don't tell the truth. People who fear don't tell the truth. So why expect the truth from these people? You can't. They're not going to tell you the truth. They're going to hide behind that fear. Well, let's put it this way. That they may not speak verbally that they don't fear, but you can tell by their actions. You know, I had a guy tell me one day, because I was talking about my belief and how I understood things. And I was telling him that, I don't even really remember all that was said. I just know, I know that what I'm telling you right now is some of the things that I have told him. And he told me, he came up to me one day and he said, well, what if I just come and put a bullet in your brain? I told him that you're right. If that's what you wish to do, then that's what you can do that, all you want to. And then I turned around and I asked him, do you live in fear? And he says, no. But when you threaten someone's life, you live in fear. You're scared. That's just common sense. People who give life, people who are willing to help, live in love. They're not out to murder someone. They're out to help someone. They're out to love someone. They're out to show someone that they matter just as much as everyone else matters. People who live in fear they think that they've got this mentality of kill or be killed. They think that's living. They think by killing someone is preserving their life. But it's not. You're only causing more problems on yourself. These are choices that you have to live with. You go to bed and sleep, and you're the one who thinks and prays and does whatever you do at night before you go to sleep at night. All these thoughts run through your mind. They probably got a certain way they got to set their house. They probably got electrical fences up around their houses. Oh, well, we don't want nobody stealing from me. Oh, we don't want just anybody coming over here to our pool. That's fear. That's fear. You're scared that somebody is going to come over and take something from you. Oh, we got to lock our doors at night because we have all these robberies going around. Somebody can just come in and rob us. That's fear. You're living in fear. Hey, I've been guilty of that. I lock my doors at night. We all do. But it's also come to the point to where people do these types of things because of our lifestyles. We don't go out and try to help them. We just call them thieves and murderers and try to put them either in a jail or whatever, wherever you want to put these people. Doesn't matter. They got prisons, asylums, where they put certain types of people because they're scared of them, because they don't take the time to actually understand. They don't understand that our choices affect each and every one of us around us. Nobody wants to take the blame, but I will. I'll take the blame. I take responsibility for my choices. I take the responsibility of not going out and helping somebody because I've been that type of person. I've called people thieves and murderers too. But I don't see them that way anymore. I see somebody who just needs some help. Just like the person who's willing to threaten you and shoot you in the brain. We could all use some help. And I promise you, if you look deep inside yourself, you will find that help. You don't have to look into it oh man, there's plenty of people you can go to ask for help. But they're not going to give you the full attention that you can give yourself. Because there's going to be some things that you leave out because you don't fully understand them yourself. It's that fear. This message, like I said, is a multiple of things. Just bundled up in one. And that's why it's a little lengthy. And if you've made it this far, you're doing good. And some just watch it. They're not going to accept it, but that's okay. They don't have to accept it. That's the thing, That's that fear going. That's that fear going through their mind. That's that lack of intelligence. Which, remember, intelligence is nothing more than a fancy word of understanding. It's the lack of understanding. So instead of being that person that is not willing to understand, but you're going to sit there and say you're smarter than the next or you know better, You're contradicting yourself. And you have that right too. You can do that all you want. That doesn't make you right. Doesn't make you correct. In your own way, you can be correct. Sure. But it's not what truth is. Let's put it that way. It's a lie that we live. And I know I've done it. I've been that way. I've done those types of things. I still catch myself every now and then, but I try to correct that each and every day that I wake up and I get up and I just try to be a better person every day. I strive to be a good person. I want to go out and I want to help people. I want to do things that are going to better us as people. Even in this experience, we have a lot of love to give each other, and we suppress it with fear because we're afraid to actually give that love out there. We're all messengers. All of us are messengers. You can either give a message of fear or you can give a message of love. Choose wisely. And I promise you, you can't get away from choosing one or the other. You have to choose one. And you can choose both on a daily. And if you're choosing both on a daily, you're at least attempting to understand both sides. If you're just choosing one over the other, then you're either just living in fear or you're living in love. There's nothing wrong with living in love, and there's nothing wrong with living in fear. But you don't push fear onto somebody else just because you want to sit there and be scared. If you want to sit there and be scared, that's on you. That's your choice. If you want to sit there and love someone, that's on you. That's your choice. But I promise you that love that person sits there and tries to demonstrate is the one who is more true to himself than the one who expresses fear. They're the ones who is going to be honest to you, and the guy who's expressing fear is the one who's going to lie to you. It's that simple. It is very, 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 very simple. It is not complicated, not one bit. The brain, the mind is not a mystery. It's all a matter of choice. Fear is limited. Love is limitless. Love has no bounds. Fear has bounds. Fear can prevent you from diving off of a 20-foot diving board into a body of water. Love will show you that it's water. You're going to survive. That's that limitation. You miss out on an experience of a dive because you think that 20-foot drop is going to hurt you in some way. And it could, maybe, if you didn't actually attempt the jump the way you should. Probably watch someone dive before you just go and dive. At least learn how to do it. I think I'm going to end it here before I get too far ahead of myself here. But people, well, hold on. Let me end it with this note, because I was talking about work earlier and how I've had some bad luck, and how that I don't think that work is a bad thing. It's not. There's many ways of work. I'm doing God's work right now. I believe in God. I believe in what Jesus came. I believe what he stood for. I don't think he should have had to die on the cross because he just wanted to share some love with some people. Regardless of whether it was an actual man walking this earth or just a story, it doesn't matter. There's love in that story, and there was love in the man that shared the story. But this work, there's nothing wrong with work. I do not have a problem with work. I've tried working, just haven't had any good luck with it. And I'm a hard worker. I can get some shit done. Believe me. Believe me. I just had some bad luck with it. But I believe that that hard work has showed me that that's not my path. That God's work is my path. And to work hard at God's work. Just as I worked hard through this life. Just as I've had hard experiences. God's there for each and every one of us, and he will always be there for each and every one of us, no matter what anybody says to any of you. He loves us. He will always love us no matter what choice we make in life, because we always have the choice to turn back to him and say, God, I'm sorry. And you know what? He's not going to judge you. You are the ones who judge yourselves. God accepts you. Now, granted, he probably don't want you to make poor choices. I'm not sitting here saying that he accepts that for you. Don't get me wrong. He doesn't want you to live this experience. He doesn't want you to die a deathly experience. He wants you to live. But he's not going to judge you for the choices you feel like you have to make because the society puts this on you. This message right here is already hard enough. This is some of the hardest work someone can possibly do because it's not accepted. It's not understood. People limit their intelligence. They want to say, oh, no, this ain't correct. What this guy says is it goes against what we've all been taught. It does not go against what we've been taught. It just doesn't go with it. God is what's true. His work is what's true. Not these false works we do. I don't want to just work a dead-end job, a 9-to-5, have $400 house payment, and only get a $500 check. That is not living to me. I don't accept that for myself. To work hard every single day, busting my bones for somebody who has no respect for me. I want to go to work my bones off, make money, have a home that I don't have to worry about. I don't want to come home to, oh, well, I can't make the bill, I can't make the payment this month. Oh, the property taxes, they're just jacking everything up. Oh, gas is way too expensive. That is not living to me. That does not show me a living experience. I want to go to work. I want to make a lot of money, and I want to have a place to come home to where I don't have to worry about whether or not I can afford it. I have a daughter too. I can have a $400 house payment, make a $500 check, have $100 for food, and actually it wouldn't even go for food because you would have utilities, trash. You got a lawn you got to cut. And I take pride in my lawn. I'll show you my yard one of these days. I used to work on a golf course. I learned fast, and my yard looks good. Actually, it's not even my yard. It's my grandma's yard. I stay here at my grandma's house. I help her with the yard. You know, I take pride in this. Nobody has ever mowed this yard like this but me. I've let people mow this. They cut circles. Just like people in life. They're trying to cut circles. They're trying to find these shortcuts. And in doing that, They're killing others around them to get these shortcuts, and it's not even working. They're just still going around in circles. They're chasing in their own tails. They're not following the road. I'll get out here and I'll show you some straight lines. I'll show you what a yard's supposed to look like. You can play some soccer on this. You can come golf on this property. I'll show you what a real yard looks like. I'll show you what work is. And granted, it don't feel like work when I'm out there doing it, but it is. And when I'm done, man, the beauty. That's how I see the world. The way I cut my grandma's yard is the way I see the world. Through all the fear that we create. It's pretty crazy. I can see that, right? I can see the good in the world, but I can also see the bad. I see the choices that we make. I see the two different choices we make on a daily basis. And like I said, I know this is lengthy. But it does not have to be for anyone. This is my length. I put whatever length I want on here. These videos mean a lot to me. They don't have to mean anything to anyone in this world. But this is the way I give back to God for what I have taken from Him. And we've all taken something from Him at some point. And He deserves better than that. He really does. I'm telling you. He deserves better than that. Just like each and every one of us. But you're not going to understand that until you actually accept Him. Once you accept Him, you'll understand, and you won't feel like it's a burden or anything. You just understand that we're loving beings living in an experience where we can either choose to make poor choices or good choices. We're all amazing human beings, and we can be so much more than what we are doing to ourselves. We've got to learn this word of love. It is not a complicated word. We all love something, regardless. You cannot get around loving anything. If people were trying to cut out love in this world, you can't do it. You know why? Let's take an evil person, for example. Let's say this person likes to go out and murder. He loves to murder. He loves to murder. He loves to murder. He loves. But yet he wants to take out love in this world. So then he should not love to want to murder then, right? He shouldn't love that. That's love. There's love in that. He shouldn't love that. If he's going against love, then why love something? Yeah, that makes no sense. Love is with each and every one of us. We deserve great things, people. We really do. People don't deserve to be shut out. Some of the nicest people are the ones who have nothing. Everybody knows this. It's true. They have nothing in this experience. Now, I'm not saying that they don't have anything, because they do. But in this experience, they're limited to some things. But that love, that's one thing that is not limited. And it never will be. Ever. But, almost a 50-minute video, almost an hour I've sat here and talked to you people. Or just to myself, which is fine. This message is for me. This is to help me. This is for I consider myself to have grown up through some depression eras. And I'm here to fix that myself. Because I know there's not going to be anybody else out there to help me. Except for God. He's there for me. I don't see a whole lot of other people around me that are there for me. But I've seen some people that, now don't get me wrong, I've had some help throughout the years. Do not think that I do not see that. My family has helped me with some things. But with my understanding and the way I believe is when they started shutting me out. And that's okay. They have every right to do that. That's their choice. We all have those choices. But this message is a multiple of messages. So don't just go out there thinking that someone can send a better message than you, because they can't. You have your own message, and you're the only one who can send that message better than anyone else. Just like their message, you can't send their message. They're going to send their message better than you. But you have a message that you can send better than them. Regardless of whether it's fear or regardless of whether it's love. Choose wisely, people. And I'm going to do my best to choose wisely. I love all of you. It don't matter who you are, what shape, size, color. It does not make a difference to me. How you think, you can live in fear, you can hate, you can go out and murder people, or you can sit there and actually love someone. I'm going to love you the same. I don't care what you've done. I'm not here to judge anybody. I'm just here to send a message like everyone else is. Everyone has their own message, so do I. And there isn't anybody who can send my message better than me. Won't happen. Can't. I could be taken out of this experience today, and somebody can try to steal my message, and they will not be able to get the point across. Because it's not their message. They have their own message. They're only pretending to be somebody they're not. But anyways, people, try to love each other. I know I say this a lot, but I'm a loving guy, and I want to share a loving message. I have a daughter that I would really like to be home with. She does mean a lot to me. And just because I've had bad luck with work does not say that I do not want to be around my daughter or do not want her in my life. People around me affect that choice. And you'll see, people will see one of these days. We all come to this understanding at one point. Each and every one of us do. It's inevitable. It's who we are. We don't lose. We're winners. We don't give up. We're beasts. We love. We're hardcore when it comes to love. And we share it even in a message of fear. We're hardcore about it. It's who we are. We're freaking awesome. So just remember, when you share that message of fear, you're sending a message of love as long as fear. You're showing what love is not. So you can go out and love to murder all you want to, but try not to love it, okay? This is where I end the message, okay? This is before I get too far ahead of myself. Let's just end it here for today. I'll try to come back tomorrow with another one. I might just come and dome it again. I might just go off the dome. I might just say something crazy. Who knows? But people, if love is crazy, condemn me. But me and God don't think it's crazy. And anybody who believes in God or Jesus and what he taught, it's not crazy. But that can be your truth if you wish it to be. I won't ever accept that, but I accept love to be something that's intelligent. That's where the intelligent lies. That's where we become smart, when we learn to love. But love each other. Go out and help someone today, you know? There's plenty of people out there who need some help. If you can't send a message over your YouTube or over Facebook or over something like that, maybe you have some money. Maybe you're rich. I'm not. I'm poor. Go out and help somebody with some money. Give them a house. Give them a car. Give them a job. Show them some love. But I love all of you. And let's try to send this message as positively as we can. I'm not trying to go to war with anyone. I won't go to war with anyone. I'll lay down my life. I won't pick up a gun to shoot somebody. Somebody hands me a gun and tells me to go shoot somebody because they think that I have to, you're going to have to shoot me. It doesn't work for me. And it doesn't work really for anyone. So, and I just understand that. And you don't have to understand that if you choose to limit yourself. That's fine. But try to love people. I'm done. 52 minutes, that is plenty. That is way too long, honestly. But just peace and love, people. Peace and love. And I'll see you next time.